Hi, I'm Luke Kincaid,
And I'm Taylor Lucas.
and we are doing our capstone presentation on WooCast, Widener's radio station and podcasting studio. About why we chose WooCast, WooCast has helped me as a student and as a person in general. I remember before I used to be really scared before I presented, and I started doing live shows every Friday. I've been doing that for about 2.5 years now, and that kind of made me better, more confident. I'm doing better with public speaking and presentations. And I'm started doing stand-up comedy more, doing the open mics throughout the week.
And for me personally, I grew up listening to stories about radio stations. My dad used to work at a record label and for a PR firm. So I was always told all these stories about what he did and his job and all his experience there. And I always wanted to be a part of it, and I thought students on campus would want to be a part of it too.
About the background on WooCast, it started as when Widener was Pennsylvania Military College. The students attending Pennsylvania Military College petitioned the university's administration to build a radio station, and they did. They built a radio station in Howell Hall. It also helped educational-wise because it helped with military communications because that was mainly done throughout radio, and it was also a big culture thing because radio was also popular throughout the 1960s. The audience WooCast serves, we serve the students attending Widener University, the faculty and staff, whether they're in the cafe or the gym, or they're listening on the new streams that we developed. Mission statement is that we want to make WooCast a selling point to incoming freshmen or new students that want to think about attending Widener University. We feel that we have a great staff, great tech. We have all the right stuff necessary to do that, and we want to do that with our incoming plans. Problem statement is Problem statement is WooCast needs to build better brand awareness and recruit a team for the future. I see a lot of students. They come around, and I always tell them I do radio shows. And they go, "Oh, I didn't know that we had a radio station." I lived in Howell Hall freshman year. I didn't know we had a radio station. I was right above it. So that's a problem we need to fix. And we will fix with our incoming plan, with our next plans. Next is our SWOT analysis. The strengths is that we have all the necessary tools needed for a radio station. All the tools we have we have all the soundboards, the mics, the headphones, and we have the stream is a great stream, no pauses. We looked at other college radio stations to build the best we can to help it out, to help WooCast out the most we can. There's a lot of inconsistencies. Audio's fuzzy, the format's off. There's a lot of pauses, the inconsistent streaming. We have all that down pat, so that's not a problem that we have. We have all the right people. The person that really makes everything possible is Paul Keenan, who really helps. He's an alumni. He graduated a couple of years ago, but he still comes back and he helps us. Without him, I don't even think we would have a station. He's great. Greg Potter really helped us out. He taught me and Taylor and I how to really work on the radio side of things, taking his audio production class. We're currently taking his music production class. He's been a big help helping us learn. He also helped us develop an email, for a Widener email for WooCast Radio, which has been a big help trying to create accounts for our social media. Professor Corbett helped us out. She helped us out, capstone-wise, and helping us get in contact with campus safety and helping us get in there and kind of have hands-on experience inside the station. Weaknesses. Some of the weaknesses we came across as, granted, it might be a handful, but again, the station hasn't really been having the best not much attention has been being paid to it. One is that we don't really have enough students being drawn to WooCast. Again, another problem that we already said before is that not many people know that we had a station. But they do know the podcast. They do know what the podcast studio is. But weakness is we're not really getting enough students drawn to WooCast. Obviously, some might say radio is outdated. People might, not really feel it's a current, thing to be a part of. They might be turned off by that. Again, we can kind of incorporate the podcasting into radio to kind of help, format a new kind of audio channel, which we will get to. Not enough WooCast members currently to be sustainable. Right now, we actually are in the process of getting new recruits, so that will change. But before, it was just right now it's just me and Taylor. Right before that, it was me and Osei and Dave, and before that it was Dwight and Rohan, who used to go here as well. So we want to get more students in because we feel that we have all the stuff there. we need to share it more with people to make it more sustainable. Also, what we need to do is we need to update some software. We went in there to get pictures and try to test out everything. A lot of inconsistent stuff going on in there. Passwords are old and tech is old, and different usernames. We have like Pro Tools in there from 2013. We have Adobe Edition version 3. So we want to fix that in order to make people want to, because they see they didn't want to join. So hopefully we need to update that to get new members. And it also is an inconsistent web presence. When you would search up WooCast, nothing would come up, or if somebody else's random podcast would come up. If you typed in Widener radio station, Widecast WNR would come up. So you want to build a new consistent web presence. Opportunities. We have an opportunity to integrate radio and podcasting to make a new audio channel that's more to make that students can enjoy. I think if we combine both, we can make it an all-inclusive audio club that students can want to join. Because podcasts recently have been through like a big boom. So if we could tell students, hey, you and your guys are funny, you can join and have a podcast. You guys like sports, have a talk show podcast. And again, the live aspect of radio students might be a little hesitant towards. So if you do the podcast, you may build up them to do a radio show. Also, we can solidify the WooCast website and social media channels that we created. And we also have the opportunity to recruit new members, which we have. Threats. People could view radio as outdated and not caring enough to join. And Widener might also move off the radio station, which is also could be a problem. Because they did it with the Starbucks. They replaced the Art Museum with the Starbucks. They moved the bookstore, so they can also do that with the radio station.
The importance of the radio station. We provide a source of entertainment for all the students here on campus. It's also important for comm students because it's important if they're interested in the audio aspect of the field and they want to work in radio in the future. I believe it's like a great experience for them to join, helps get their confidence up when they graduate, so they're ready to take on their jobs in the real world.
A literature review. The research question we had is how do we promote WooCast to get more listeners and get more participation in the WooCast club. So the research we did, we came across the article written by Stephen McClung. He wrote an article called College Radio Station Websites, Perceptions of Value and Use. And he said, quote, advisors of the radio station should understand that if the radio station has a presence, people want to be involved and hear the signal. Now, so the answer to the research question that we wrote down is, how do we promote WooCast to get more listeners and more participation in the club? And we answered by creating a website and a social media rebranding campaign. Now, you might look at that and say, oh, 2001 is a really long time ago. So we use this as a chance to modernize the quote, and we're going to make a new website, and we're also going to make social media channels because, back in 2001, social media wasn't really the big thing back then, and it's like the current thing now, so we're going to do that.
For our primary research, we conducted a survey on November 30th of last year. We had 22 participants total, and we did this through SurveyMonkey. We also conducted a focus group and interview this year, March 1st and March 9th, and Luke and I conducted this through Zoom. First, we're going to look at the survey results that we had. The first one we're going to look at is we asked the students, what content do you listen to on the radio? And our top three answers were music, sports, and talk shows. And this is important because we're focusing on changing the programming in the station. And right now, as it is, it's mostly just music. All we have talk show wise would be Luke's podcast talk show on Friday at 11. But this is also a good opportunity for when we get students in the future joining WooCast, because we can offer them talk shows if they want, so we could play them throughout the week. The second question we're going to show you is what their preferred genre of music is. Our top two answers were hip hop and rap, with rock and alternative tying for third. And this is also important because right now all I really remember is it being very unbalanced. Most of what I remember hearing, especially in the first couple of years, was just more pop than anything else. So it looks like our students want to hear more diverse set of music. And the third question that we want to show you is where the students listen to WooCast through, and our top two answers were the Pride Cafe and the Pride Rec Center. And this is important for when we're structuring our schedule so that we know what kind of music they would want to listen to during this. For the cafeteria, we found out through our research they would want to hear more relaxed music, and for times that they're at the gym, more intense music. Also, we learned from our focus group and interview that they would like to listen to more of a mixed genre music, not so it's repetitive, not the same playlist every week. We learned that they also, for talk shows, they would want to hear more comedy, sports, and current events in their talk shows. While we were researching, we were also looking at how other campuses can have the students reach out to the station, can get involved. So we asked the students if they would like that, if they could somehow interact with the station. They said yes, they would be more interested in the station, and more students would gravitate towards it if that was possible, like through calling and maybe winning prizes and suggestions. And we also had them look at website features and the format from other colleges' websites. And they said that they liked how simplistic some of them were and how easy it was to navigate around them. And for the features, they wanted to see stuff like live feed. They wanted a schedule. They wanted a way to submit student music, which would be great for musicians on campus, and also a way to make suggestions. And we also asked them about our brand. So we had them look at these three logos on the bottom. We started out as WDNR, then we moved into Widecast, and now we're currently WooCast. And we had them look at it and decide whether or not they would like the new one or choose go back to one of the old designs. And most of them said they would move to the new logo. However, some of them would like there to be the other school color to kind of represent the school more. And we also asked them about the web presence, like Luke said earlier. And one of the students said they tried looking up Widener Radio, and most of what came up was WDNR, which he said was very confusing. Like, no one would know where to go unless they actually went to the school. So he suggested that we just clear the board and just have one specific site so nobody gets confused. Yep. And when we were asking our questions, before we asked our questions, we created them by looking at these three theories to get answers that benefited us most and would be great for changing the station. So the first one was for student involvement theory, which looks at what students want from the universities and how students change over time. This is good for basing questions off of the students' experiences in college and what they would change based on their time here. The second one was medium theory, which focuses on ways media of communication differ from each other. And this is good for when we're trying to figure out how to reach the students in different ways, whether it be through the station itself, the website, or like through print with the flyers. and uses and gratifications theory, which discusses how people use the media for their needs until their needs are satisfied. And this tells us to learn about the students' interests, which would also pull people towards the station and also help us stay current.
So the following slides are going to represent our communication plan to kind of help us out throughout the years to make WooCast in the future. So we made flyers with the site Canva, just basic color scheme, blue and gold for us, microphone representing the radio and podcasting and audio stuff like that, lightning bolt saying, oh, it's shocking what we're saying. Tune into kind of the red thing, kind of like shining, and then new tagline we made, the playlist of the Pride, and we have the website at the bottom. Next one is another one. These could be like flyers or posters we made. WooCast, the playlist of the Pride, at WooCast Radio on all platforms. For information on WooCast, email woocastradio@wired.edu. Blue and gold again. And this is another one we made. Tune into WooCast, Widener's radio and podcasting station, ran by the students for the students. Host your own talk show or play with your favorite campus songs for the whole campus to enjoy. Your favorite songs for the whole campus to enjoy. Information, email, yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, and then this is the social media accounts we made at WooCast Radio, at Woo_Cast Radio, and that's Twitter, go ahead, Facebook, and then that's Instagram. We have the new recruits. We got Shania Houston and Dean Athanas. Both great pickups. They're both great students. Were recommended by Greg Potter. We actually took the audio production class with them in Greg's class, and Greg recommended them, so we know they're going to be great for WooCast. All right, these are the websites we looked at. Top left is Ithaca College. Bottom left is Cabrini. Top right's Temple. Bottom right's Villanova. We took kind of the best thing from each site and wanted to incorporate in our site to make the best website possible. Okay, I'm going to get on the keys real quick so I can guide you. All right, so this is going to be a WordPress site we made. So right here, well, here it's a live stream. You can listen to Megan Thee Stallion. It's kind of the worst song to have during a presentation, but it's fine. But yeah, we have the listen live. We have a live stream. We have the about page, kind of giving you the history. I wouldn't have known this if Paul didn't, do this, tell me about it, and I wrote it down. So there's all the website. Look, right here is the signal being put on Old Main, which is kind of cool. We have all our social media credentials on the top right. We made a mock schedule. So today is the 21st. That's Wednesday at 12. So we kind of made some programs, just mock programs, staff stories, listen to Widener staff members tell some funny and interesting stories about working on campus. My family, they all work at Villanova as custodial staff and maintenance. They always have some funny stories to tell us, so that'll be a fun story. Just other stuff. We have Friday or Thursday, Thumpin' Thursdays. Get your groove on and bust a move on the dance floor. We're playing some of the greatest funk hits on Thumpin' Thursdays. So you can tell I made that one up. Meet the team. There's me, Taylor. There's Paul, Greg, Tim, and Angie all helped us out with this, so we figured we'd put them on the website. Station tour, just pictures of the radio station and studio, just showing you how great of a place it is, how awesome the studio is, how much WooCast is great. There's a panorama shot in one of the studios. And then contact. For information on WooCast, email woocastradio@wired.edu. Submissions, please email woocastradio@wired.edu. Any songs you submit, make sure they're clean MP4 WAV files. So that's just the website we made up.
All right. There are a few limitations right now. For one of the biggest ones currently is the campus restrictions because of COVID-19. And Because of this, no students are at school. There's a big decrease in listeners. They can't even go into the cafeteria to listen to WooCast. It's really hard to get into the gym now without jumping through some hoops. And because of this, there's almost nobody listening to the station. However, we fixed that with the live stream on the station on the website, so we can have them listen to WooCast wherever they are, even if they're doing remote learning at home. We also have issues with radio station access. As it is right now, you need to get permission from a advisor from the communications department, and even then, you have to go to campus security and get keys. I think this could be solved easily by just getting a scanner for the door, so everybody can just go in as they please, because honestly I feel like doing all that might turn people away from the station. And also station organization. I believe that the station should be put on, be shown during the school tour, and but because I think it has potential to be a great selling point, but as it is right now, it's kind of cluttered, disorganized. It needs to be cleaned up, but I feel like it would be great to show students, because even I didn't know it was even there till my third year here. So, yeah.
Some future recommendations you'd like to see. We want to constantly get feedback from the students to get a good pulse of what we want to, what add-ons or upgrades we want to put into WooCast. I think of every semester, do a focus group or do a survey. I would say do a focus group, because what we experienced, the students are a lot more susceptible to surveys than a focus group. So do a survey instead of a focus group every semester. Better organizational protocol. We had to jump through hoops to kind of get the passwords and the usernames for every different thing we had to do. So what we started doing is start using the WooCast email, and we made a WooCast only known password so that we can access everything correctly. As Taylor said, ID access to the radio station would be a good plus. There's only people that want to get involved that are in the club of WooCast. Replace all the old logos, WDNR, Widecast with WooCast. That includes physically and digitally. Again, if you type in Widener radio station, you click a link and it's a page on Widener's website. It says Widecast, formerly WDNR. You want to replace that. Outside the station, there's a giant painting on the wall outside the station, the station doors rather. It says WDNR, so you want to get WooCast on there. We want, again, Taylor said this, showcase the radio station during tours. That would have been a great plus for me to see. So I still came here, but I was awesome. I was getting involved earlier than sophomore year. And again, campus-wide promotions, have posters, show it during tours, have people sitting out with the seat, trying to ask people to get their emails to sign up for WooCast. So. This is a thank you to the WooCast team. So thank you to Greg, Angie, Paul, and Aaron. Without them, we wouldn't, especially all four of them, they all helped us out a lot. And we'd like to thank them. Greg with the email, Paul with everything in the radio station, Angie with everything Capstone-wise. Aaron really helped us out getting a WordPress site, so that was great. And so thank you to them. Any questions?